Greetings, fellow history enthusiasts. Welcome back to Timeless Sagas, your go-to channel for everything history. Today, we're going to journey into the heart of the Andean Mountains to explore the fascinating world of the Inca Empire. But before we start, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode of our historical escapades. The Inca Empire, a civilization that flourished in the 15th and early 16th centuries, straddling a vast stretch of South America, from modern-day Colombia to Chile. Known for their architectural marvels, intricate road networks, and of course, the famous Machu Picchu, the Incas were a force to be reckoned with. But who were these people, and how did they create one of the largest empires in history? Picture this, it's the early 13th century, and the Inca people are just a small tribe living in the Cusco region of modern-day Peru. According to Inca legend, their founding father, Manco Capac, and his sister-wife, Mama Oclo, emerged from the depths of Lake Titicaca, sent by their father, the sun god Inti, to establish a great civilization. And boy, did they deliver! The Incas began to expand their territory under the leadership of their first king, Pachacuti. Remember that name, folks, because Pachacuti was the ultimate game-changer for the Incas. He reigned from 1438 to 1471, and during his rule, the Incas went from being a small regional power to a colossal empire, known as Tawantinsuyu, which means the four regions in Quechua, their native language. Now, you're probably wondering how the Incas managed to expand so rapidly. Well, my friends, that's where their military prowess and strategic thinking came into play. The Incas cleverly integrated neighboring tribes through a mix of diplomacy and military force, creating a strong, unified empire, where even their conquered foes became allies. Talk about a win-win situation. But the Incas didn't just rely on their military might, they were also skilled administrators. They developed an extensive road network, known as the Capac Ñan, which connected their vast empire and allowed for efficient communication and transportation. We're talking about 25,000 miles of roads, folks, that's enough to circle the earth, and then some. These roads were so well constructed that some are still in use today. And speaking of impressive construction, let's talk about Inca architecture. Have you ever seen those photos of Machu Picchu, with its terrace slopes and perfectly fitted stones? That, my friends, is the epitome of Inca architectural genius. The Incas had a knack for blending their structure seamlessly into the natural landscape, all without using mortar. They used a technique called ashlar masonry, where stones were precisely cut to fit together like a jigsaw puzzle. Earthquake? No problem. Inca buildings were designed to withstand the test of time and tremors. Now, let's dive into Inca society, because it's a real trip. Remember how I mentioned Tawantinsuyu, the four regions? Well, Inca society was all about order and structure, and it was divided into four social classes. At the top, we have the Sapa Inca, the divine ruler who was considered the son of the sun god, Inti. Next up were the nobles, who were further divided into two groups, the Capac Incas, the blood relatives of the Sapa Inca, and the Hawa Incas, nobles from conquered tribes. Below the nobles were the local chiefs, and finally, the commoners, who were farmers, artisans, and laborers. Inca society was highly collectivist, with the state controlling everything from religion to agriculture. Commoners worked under a labor tax system called the mita, where they would contribute their time and skills to public projects, like building roads, temples, and terraces. In return, they received food and clothing from state storehouses. Sounds like a pretty sweet deal, right? Religion was also a central aspect of Inca life, with their pantheon boasting a variety of gods and goddesses. But the most important deity? You guessed it, the sun god, Inti. As the supposed descendants of Inti, the ruling Inca family derived their power and legitimacy from their divine connection. The Incas believed that the Sapa Inca had the power to control the weather and ensure a good harvest, so keeping him happy was of the utmost importance. Now, let's fast forward to the 16th century, when things took a sharp turn for the Inca Empire. In 1532, a Spanish conquistador by the name of Francisco Pizarro arrived on the scene, and he had his sights set on Inca gold. The empire was already in a vulnerable state, with a civil war raging between two brothers, Atahualpa and Huáscar, who both claimed the throne after their father's death. Pizarro and his men took advantage of this chaos, capturing Atahualpa and demanding a ransom for his release. Despite the Incas delivering an enormous amount of gold and silver, Pizarro went back on his word and executed Atahualpa in 1533. The Spanish then marched on the Inca capital of Cusco, effectively marking the end of the Inca Empire. But the Incas didn't go down without a fight. For the next several decades, they launched a series of rebellions against Spanish rule, known as the Neo-Inca state, but ultimately, the Spanish prevailed. And there you have it, folks, the rise and fall of the mighty Inca Empire. From their humble beginnings to their tragic end, the Incas left an indelible mark on history. Their achievements in architecture, agriculture, and administration continue to inspire awe and admiration, reminding us that even in the face of adversity, human ingenuity can create something truly timeless. That's it for today's episode of Timeless Sagas. I hope you enjoyed our journey through the Inca Empire. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and share it with your fellow history buffs. And remember, my friends, history is never truly in the past. It's always with us, shaping our present and our future. Until next time, stay curious.